I'm Jackie Van Cleave. I'm Strike King National Pro Staff. I'm also War Eagle National Pro Staff, and I'm also a fishing guide at Reelfoot Lake. Uh, what I want to go over with you is Reelfoot, a shallow lake, fishing on it versus Kentucky Lake, a deep, clear lake. And I'm going to go over some of the techniques I do between these two lakes. All right, Reelfoot's a shallow lake, and it's filled with stumps, trees, and logs, and vegetation. It's different types. It's easier lake to fish. You don't take a lot of electronics to fish Reelfoot. All right, Kentucky Lake is different. It's deep, and it's a lot of clear water in it, and it gets real rough real quick, but it's real good for crappie fishing. Both of these lakes are awesome crappie fishing lakes. But Kentucky Lake, I use my War Eagle. It's a 20-foot, 72-inch bottom boat. It's a pretty good sized boat. And I can stay out there in some pretty good winds. And some of my best fishing's on windy days. So these deep, clear lakes, you want to fish deeper. I fish a lot of 20-foot, 18, 12-foot of water, fishing with crankbaits. On Reelfoot Lake, I don't use cranking because it's filled with too many stumps. You can't do no crankbait fishing on Reelfoot. You can, but you're going to lose a lot of baits. But we stick with the tubes and the double hook minnow rigs on Reelfoot. And Kentucky Lake, we'll fish crankbaits, tubes, double hook minnow rigs. We can fish at 1.5 miles up to 2 miles an hour versus Reelfoot. It's slow fishing. It's a lot of slow fishing, and we use a lot of floats, bobber fishing on Reelfoot. And on Kentucky Lake, we don't use no bobber fishing. There are two different lakes, and there's different ways to fish them. Kentucky Lake's got a lot of man-made mats. It's a lot of stake beds, they call them. We call them mats, stake beds. They're man-made. Then you got your brush tops on Kentucky Lake. They fall off the sides of the banks, into the water, and they drift out. And you got to find those. An easy way to do that is scanning them. Where you're scanning and marking them and coming back and fishing them. And Reelfoot, you hadn't got to scan for stumps because anywhere you fish out there, it's got stumps and treetops. I mean, just take off blind and you should do all right. Pulling tubes, pushing tubes, casting, vertical jigging, a lot of single trees at Reelfoot that you can find to fish. Versus Kentucky Lake, it's not a lot of trees you can fish out there in the middle of the lake. It's a lot of underwater, unseen stuff. I mean, you're gonna have to get out there and find this stuff, and a depth finder or a side scan is the best way to do that. So give it a shot. I'm Jackie Van Cleave, and I'm a guide at Reelfoot Lake. And if you need to contact me for duck hunting, fishing, I do them both. I mean, I'm an outdoors guy. I mean, I love both of them. I love my fishing. I love my duck hunting. But to get a hold of me, just get on the phone. It's 731-431-9700. And just give me a dial, and we'll fix you up, and we'll take you fishing or duck hunting. Just give me a call.
Number one more time.
731-538-2547 is my home. My cell number, 731-431-9700.